Hello everyone and welcome back to another video from the Magical Moons. I'm here with a very good friend of mine, Tony, who we call Mr. T. The family love him, the kids love him, but more importantly, he changed the legends' lives forever by being an instrumental part of the rescue of the horse called Cinderella, which you can see in previous videos. But just goes to show, like you guys, by just being there and having that one mind, that one vision of what is possible, what can happen, and he's here to hopefully shed a little bit of light on her story. So thank you for agreeing to be on camera. But
you're very welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure to have known you, and a real honour to be your friend, or to call myself your friend. But what happened was, when Cinderella popped up and she was on the Belgian border going for the meat trade, an elite sport horse, a registered horse, all the stuff that we want to do at Legends to protect them, she was on that front line. She was hours away from being passed over to the other side, literally. I rang Tony and a few other guys that I was working with, and they all clubbed together and made it possible for me and the boys, as you'll see in the previous video, to go and do that. But it really meant the world, because at the time we had no support. We were hand to mouth. Yes, we'd have had, say no support, that's probably not true insofar as we had some very kind people run a show in Scotland for us. Yep. We had a couple of individual donations, but we also had a charity event which supported us, and that saw us through the winter. But we didn't, when I say real support, we didn't have that monthly bit of money, that little bit of security. We were working. I was working with Tony. I mean, do you have...
Well, we'd really only known each other 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And we'd made a bond, and a friendship had come out of that. And when you rang me and asked for help, it was just like, I mean, my extent of charity and helping charities is going to a charity shop and buying some clothes. But when you rang me, the desperation, the passion, everything was just in this phone call, and you touched me. It just touched me. And you asked, and I just went straight out to the bank, John, what a quarter my card, come back. By the time I come back, you was at the house.
And you're not a horsey person.
I'm not a horsey person.
But you are an animal lover. And
yes,
he loves butterflies and fairies, so it was always going to be
pictures.
good.
But yeah, you were there. By the time I got back, you were there.
Yeah.
And you were literally collecting some donations, whatever you could get, and going straight out to collect this horse and save it.
It was like...
And it was literally like that.
But that's what made it happen, and that little bit of reassurance that there's someone else in the world, and subsequently through after your help and the other guys' help to get to where we are now, we just realised that there are other people who are like-minded, that do care, that do have that compassion, do have that little bit of we think there's more to what we're doing in life, and that's what made a difference. That it wasn't just the fact of we were working. And as I say, not being a horsey person, but just being an animal lover and loving all, the nature and everything there is, all the stuff we bounced off each other. When you're working, we talk about stuff, and a lot of the stuff we say were about the environment and, where all the stuff we appreciate. But then to be called upon to kind of action was it was really reassuring, and I thank you for that.
No, you're very welcome. I mean, I'm glad I'm part of it. I mean, you opened my eyes up to the fact that these famous horses that make people millions of pounds are just thrown to the side, taken to the meat man at the end of their career, which is wrong.
I think we touched on it before when we said about we actually did a little shoot with a friend of ours, and Simon, one of the other guys that was involved, and he said, "Oh yeah, but if it was a famous car, like one of the Formula One drivers' cars, it would be revered, it would be paraded, it would be taken to events, and it would be held in esteem as some." But these horses just seem to...
Well, they're just forgotten about. They serve the purpose, and then that's it.
The advert reads, "For this is a superb 21-year-old former sports horse mare who was once turned out to the highest of levels. She's kind, she's super soft, but unfortunately this beauty needs to regain her weight. She has also lost an eye. She is a well-educated mare who will be able to make her future family very happy. She is suitable for company or light work. She needs to settle down. She is a mare who has a lot to give to people. Unfortunately, this mare finds herself in the wrong place, and we do not know how she got here. The adoption fee for this mare is €800. This is her meat value. She is currently with the merchant and will be departing Monday morning for Belgium. If you can adopt this mare, please contact us directly as an emergency. Thank you. This is where Cinderella's path crossed the moons, and with the help of some kind-hearted people, we managed to get together the money to be able to release Cinderella from this situation. This is where time was really pressured. We knew that we had to pick up Cinderella early Monday morning before the meat man arrived, but we also knew that we had to get a trailer and the money together to be able to go and pick up this beautiful mare. Nick spent the next, I don't know how many hours, driving around the countryside picking up money from good-hearted people that wanted to help Cinderella, and also the beautiful Vida who lent us her trailer so we could actually drive to the Belgian border and pick up this mare. Nick, along with our two eldest boys, Toby and Charlie, drove through the night to get to Cinderella the first thing Monday morning. He made it with 30 minutes to spare. Having spent his life working with these horses, Nick said he could tell immediately that she felt relief. She walked onto that trailer and she was now safe. She now had a 9-hour journey home to join the other legends. Cinderella has gone on to become a much loved member of the legend family, celebrating 3 birthdays with us
Hello everybody, today's a very exciting day because it's Cinderella's birthday, and if you've been following our story then you'll know what happened, but if you haven't, well, she was she found herself at the Belgian border waiting to go to meet, but today she's down in the field and we're going to take her birthday cake down, and thank you to everyone who helped us rescue her. Thank you.
She has the softest of characters and she's the most noble of creatures. We are honoured to say that she's part of a legacy of legends.
This is Princess
Cinderella.
Cinderella. I keep wanting to call her.
She's from a
Princess.
fairy tale. She's had a
Yeah.
fairy tale from what she's been through, bless her heart.
So Cinderella was the one that Nick rode out.
Yes, Cinderella. Nick rode her today.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's still in work. Not a lot. The kids ride her every now and again, and we take her around the block. She quite enjoys going to get the odd baguette
Yeah.
from the bakers, and but yeah, Cinderella again. Her story was pretty sad. We got told about her, and drove through the night to pick her up from a Belgian slaughterhouse.
Oh my
And yeah, it happened. We just happened to have been lucky enough to have been alerted, and yeah, Nick went through the night with the boys, and we picked her up and brought her home.
God.
Since contacted her original breeder and owner, who's obviously absolutely over the moon that she's with us, and has really followed the story and
Yeah.
is fully on board. But yeah, again, it's
Yeah.
but she's really happy. She's a bit of a beast. She's only got one eye that works, and she's got a nice big lump on her side, but it doesn't affect her. The vet's checked her all over, and she's
Yeah.
quite happy. Most loving horse.
Yeah.
Honestly, I swear she knows. She spends her whole time, like, she knickers whenever you come in. She wants to be your friend, and she's just all she's happy is food and sleep, and she's absolutely divine. I love her, absolutely love her. Some of them really steal your heart, and she really stole mine. When she arrived, I was just.
Well, it's such a sad, like, from what could have happened and
Oh,
how you saved
I can't
her.
bear it. I just can't. The thought of it, the thought of what that animal was about to go through, it just ruined. It just. Honestly, I have nights where I wake up and like in a bit of a sweat because I think, oh, we did it just in time. We got it just in time, you know. And as I say, it's not every horse. Most of them are. It's just unfortunate, you know. That at that point, once they've been sold, and you know, a professional would sell the horse to someone they think is good enough. The horse gets a bit older, their circumstances change, so they sell, quick sale, sell them to a dealer. As soon as they're at that point in their life, you know, it's an unrecognised horse. No one knows who they are. They just want to get some money, and unfortunately, you know, her money. She was still at, you know, we had to pay with help of some very good friends, €800 to take her away from the meat man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not something I'm going to make the habit of doing. I can't afford to. We can't. But she was, you know, she's a. Well, you know, she's walking proof of what does happen.
Yeah.
You know, she's still here
Yeah.
and much adored. As are all
She's
of
having
them.
a lovely life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went for a little hack this morning, so she's very happy.
Yeah, you would never think they were like that old.
Hello everybody, we have some sad news today. One of our beautiful legends has left us for that other place, wherever that may be. Lovely Cinderella this morning collapsed in the field, and we couldn't get her back up. So we waited for the vet, and yeah, she was put down. So it was as smooth and as calm as it could be. It was horrible for me and for Nick. Sorry, I might cry. I'm going to try really hard to hold it together for this. But what I did do was I was filming for you guys actually. I was filming because this week we've been away. Well, I've been away. I went and spent a couple of days with Sadie, and Cinderella had been ill last week, which is why there've been no videos. We've been nursing her sort of 24 hours for the last week and a bit. And the vet had been, and we were unsure what it was. We sort of stabilised her, and we got about, we were all pretty sure it was age related, end of her life, but we weren't sure. There was talk that it could be a tick related disease, so she had Lyme's disease, so we were going to have her blood tested on Thursday to have that checked, and lots of different things. She'd been checked over. She was showing signs of being old. Her heart was struggling and bits and pieces, but there wasn't really any reason for her to be like she was. She's always had problems with her breathing. She sort of was the same. The only thing that we think could possibly have triggered it was the heat. We had extreme heat here. It was at 38, 39 a couple of days last week, and it just got too much, I think, for her. And unfortunately, it just, from that point on, you know, it just went downhill. So, yeah, I've been to Sadie's for a couple of days. Nick looked after her whilst I was there, and then we've come home. I got home late last night to be with her. And, yeah, this morning she wanted to go out in the field, so I let her out, and I went down to check her to do a little film for you, and you see her in her final moments, because within moments of that she had collapsed, and we'd called the vet, and the vet came out and we put her to sleep. But it's a lovely thing. So I'm going to show you on this video and I'm going to show you Nick with her in her moments towards the end, and she laid on the floor. She didn't want to get up, obviously. She laid on the floor, and we gave her a feed on the floor, and Nick and I spent a good couple of hours whilst we waited for the vet in the sun. We covered her up in a fly rug, and we talked to her about her, you know, her old days and things. And yeah, we had to say goodbye. But it's been a really hard day. We love him so much. But she's happy now, and she's up with her mates. So I'm not going to carry on because I'm going to keep crying. I've still got to make this video. So yeah, so I'm going to give Staz a kiss, remind myself there are lots more, and there'll be more in the future, and know that we gave her the best possible end, and we were with her for right to that very last moment. So it is a tearjerker, but it's a good one, and she had a lovely, lovely life. And thank you all for supporting us, and thank you to our Patreons who have known that she's been poorly for about a week, and they've all been giving us words of encouragement, and without you it would have been a lot harder. So yeah, it's been a really, really hard week, but it's been an exceptionally hard afternoon. I'm going to make the video now, and yeah, let's celebrate her life and remember her for how beautiful she was. Hello all, what an unexpected week it's been. It's been a difficult week to say the least, or 2 weeks nearly now. Last week, just after our last video, dear old Cinderella here, who you can just pick up in the background, started to collapse for no reason. So we've been off air for a while because we've been nursing her 24 hours, and then I went away to stay with Sadie for a couple of days because we had some things to organise, and Nick's been looking after her, the vet's been here. Yeah, it's been really, really hard. It was very, very touch and go. We weren't sure if she was going to make it, and to be completely honest, we're still not sure if she's going to be okay. The vet is coming again on Thursday to take more bloods from her and see if we can work out what the situation is. We think it might be Lyme's disease, so that's got a specific blood test which we're going to have done now to see if we can see if that's what's doing it, because she has lots of health issues, age-related health issues anyway, that we deal with on a daily basis. She's okay in herself now. She's not suffering in any way, so that's why we're hanging on. We're not, you know, we're not going to say goodbye just yet, but we are at that point in her life. It's fragile, it hangs in the balance, and this is what we deal with. You know, this is what we do. We take them on at this age, and we know that they're going to have these health issues, and we know that, you know, sometimes you know, without any warning, this happened. So she's in the back there, she's with her little friend, and as you can see, she's not eating, she's just sort of standing there. The most shocking part of this is the amount of weight she's lost. I've never seen a horse lose so much weight in a week. She is eating up at the stables and she's sleeping. This is her first day out in 2 weeks. So yeah, so I think she's probably just enjoying some sun on her back. But she has been eating and she has been drinking, but we don't know whether it's an age-related illness, whether it's just her getting old and it's to her time, or whether it's to do with the Lyme's disease. But hopefully once we have the results from the Lyme's disease, we'll know, and then we can treat her accordingly. But as I say, it's it's really, really hard. Don't like it because we love them all so much. But yeah, so we're just gonna keep looking after her, and you know, do our best to give her a comfortable end if that's what it is, or keep her comfortable, and hopefully she'll be trotting around the fields in a week's time, and we'll see. But either way, we're here and we love her dearly, so we'll go over and say hello. I'm not going to do too much with her because, you know, as I say, she's had a really rough couple of weeks, and yeah, it's just not been nice for anyone. But I will go and say hello, and yeah, I'll come back and see you all in a bit. Hey, little Liv. Hey, Cinders. Are you relaxing, darling? Are you having a bit of time in the sun? Good girl.
Okay, so we're here. I've come back from work early because Cinderella has collapsed in the field, and we're waiting for the vet to come. So she's got very, very wobbly, and she's very, very poorly. But she's just sat up. She's been laying down flat, and she's tried to get up a few times, and now, as you can see, she's just having a little munch at the grass, so she's obviously feeling a little bit better, but she's very, very weak, so we're just trying to keep her calm and keep her as comfortable as possible. It is quite hot here and there's lots of flies, as you can see, so we're just trying to, keep her as calm as possible and wait until the vet arrives. But yeah, it's that kind of what to do for the best. So hopefully when the vet comes, we'll be able to update you, and yeah, we'll see what's what. So I'll bring you some sad news that Cinderella, in the last few minutes, the vet came to see her, and she's been put to rest. She was, he said that her heart was really struggling, and we've had some very, very hot weather here in the last couple of weeks, and she always had a problem with her breathing. So given the fact that the weather was, almost off the record hot, that kind of triggered a chain of events which has ultimately led to her being put to sleep, which is, it's sad, and it's always hard, and no one ever wants to get to that point, but it's part of what we do, and we're here for them, and I was with her and Jenny was with her right till the very end, yeah, we owe that to them, and so it's always hard, and yeah, making that decision. But the vet, he was lovely young vet, and very conscientious, and went very quietly and checked her all out. But as I say, he said that her heart was really struggling and had been, and that's what kind of kick-started all those complications. So yeah, we're here for them right till the very end, and like I said, it's not easy, but they deserve it, and they definitely know you're with them. And Jenny spent a lot of time. I came back from work a bit early today, got the call from Jenny to say that she had been out in the field, which you'll probably have seen earlier, and she was happy, and you know, so she's yeah, out to pasture, as it were. So it's one of those things, but yeah, she was loved until the very end, and she wasn't left on her own. So yeah, an important decision, and it's glad in another way. It is kind of it's always a relief when you know, the suffering ends and they're not in, say, suffering. She wasn't bad. It was just a case of those underlying issues, and obviously that all caught up with her in the end. So yeah, sad day at the Moon household, or at the ranch, as it were. But yeah, she's with her other friends, wherever that place may be. So therein lies the bit of when I first met her, and it was really strange because I went there with Toby and Charlie. We drove that long drive with a trailer. We borrowed it for some friends of ours with the car, family car, and we got there and we were waiting to find out where the place was, and we eventually arrived at what they call the depot, and it's a place where all the horses congregate and they're ready to go to their various places. But it was a really eerie situation and I was unsure and it didn't feel particularly good. But I just remember walking up to her in the middle of all these horses in the field, and without words, as soon as I got the head collar out and put it on her and clipped it up, you could instantly tell her relief. She was just, I'm going to be okay. And that, to me, that moment of just to be able to, we, everyone involved gave her that, because without that, she wouldn't have had it. She was waiting, as with any, just unknown, what the future was uncharted, and she was at a loss. Why am I here? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, just that moment, literally clip on the head collar, and she just, it's going to be okay. And then from there, just the most beautiful personality, straight on the trailer, up there on the way back. She was whinnying and talking to us when we stopped off and gave her some water, brought her home. And then, as Jenny said, Mummy Moon, whenever you brought food near her, whenever anyone came out on the yard, she was always talking, whinnying, just muttering away. She was just really, really animated, and that just brought out that bit. It just gave her a chance, another life. She had another chance.
And you created new memories, new dreams for her.
I think that's what you said. And ultimately, when that time came, in her final days, like Tony said, and when I rang him and said, I'm sorry to tell you, she's no longer with us, he said, yeah, but that doesn't matter, because what she had, being surrounded by love, and Jenny and I were sat down there with her on her final day and being with her, that's it. So the whole bit, from that whole uncertainty from where she was to where she ended up, is what it's all about. And that is what I've always said to you, our dream, to create that legislation, put that law in place, that those horses obviously matter, and they've changed people, they've touched people's lives, and we're all very happy and grateful just to have been a part of that story. But it's only the beginning, and
that's right.
But that's that's what good friends do, and say normal people. But as we said before, Tony's not a horsey person. Yes, he's an animal lover. He's a great guy. He's a good guy. He's a kind person. But he saw that need, and he stepped up. And as many of you have, just realising that something needs to be done, and that's the snowball effect.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do at that time, and
you did it.
Yeah, it was all good.
Yeah, thank you.